Thank you everyone for joining us this morning. The team here at Student Gateway Catalyst is excited to have you join us for the soft launch of the platform. I'm highlighting how the organization helps support students, recent grads, international learners, equity-deserving youth, and especially when it comes to navigating the next chapter when transitioning from university or college into their actual careers. So this is a very nice opportunity for you guys to learn how to transition into this next chapter of your life. So to kick us off, my name here is Kondwelani Kalinda. I'm an associate investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management and will be your moderator for this morning's conversation. I'm joined here by Avelia S, who is the founder and advisor with Student Catalyst Gateway, as well as Darrell Pinto, who is the director of employment with Jumpstart Refugee Talent and advisor with Student Catalyst Gateway. So the goal for today is to essentially have an interactive conversation with the SCG advisors. And as the conversation progresses, please feel free to have any questions in the Q&A chat. And more importantly, we also ask that maybe you add one skill or goal that you're looking to build within the next 6 months. Additionally, if you could also share a few words that reflect how you're currently feeling about the future. And this allows us to plan better when it comes to how the organization moves forward. But more importantly, it allows us to know how best to serve people that are looking to transition from university into their careers. On top of that, I also just wanted to address that all questions will be addressed towards the end of the session. So feel free to ask any questions as we progress throughout the conversation. So before we get started, it's important that we also have a land acknowledgement and share that we are gathered here on Treaty 1 territory and that Manitoba is located on the ancestral lands of the Inuit. We also respect the spirit and intent of the treaties and remain committed to working in partnership with First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people in the spirit of truth, reconciliation, and collaboration. So just to set the tone for this morning's conversation, SCG is a new platform and a non-for-profit social enterprise that supports students through career planning, financial literacy, immigration readiness, and the organization offers a culturally responsive AI-assisted e-modules and real human support to help you transition from education to employment and beyond. So without saying too much, I'd love to pass it over to Avelia to essentially share why she founded SCG, and as well as also just give you guys a little bit of a background as to what the organization is hoping to achieve. So I'll pass it over to Avelia.
Thank you, Kondwelani. So I started Student Catalyst Gateway. Actually, the business was registered in 2024 while I was working full-time at my last employer as a director of social impact and internal communications. And I started Student Catalyst Gateway because this has been on my mind for quite a long time. Having been a student, an international student in the US for about 8 years, I did my undergrad and graduate school there. And I was at a HBCU, like 2 HBCUs actually. So I started off my academic tenure with Claflin University in South Carolina. And then I moved to Howard University to complete my undergraduate degree. And then I worked for a couple of years, and then I went back and I started and completed my master's degree at Howard University. So both of those institutions are what we call, or what they call in the US, historically Black colleges and universities. And in a lot of them, there's a really robust offering in terms of career support and guidance and so on. And to be quite honest, recruiters flock to Howard University's campus to recruit persons with a profile similar to mine. But from my observation, fast forward, 15, I would say about 20 years later, not to date myself, I came to Canada. My family and I migrated to Canada, and I found myself having to actually be a student again, just because I needed my points for my immigration support. And I pursued a 1-year certificate program at the University of Manitoba. But from my observation in Canada, the system is set up a little different compared to the US. And so there's no HBCUs. The system isn't designed for that, to help persons who attend these historically Black colleges and universities. I saw that disparity in terms of the career services support, in terms of, guiding students along their journey to, getting a job, and to guide them in terms of what they should be doing outside of just getting a job, how they could beef up their profiles and be, more well-rounded. And so that disparity, that visible disparity, and seeing the challenges that historically persons who are equity deserving are facing in Canada, I decided that, I want to create something that would provide them with that support, that will give them that well-rounded profile to go out into the workforce and really be successful and be able to thrive. So I spoke with a lot of my friends and so on, and they really supported me and, just go for it. And the fact that my position at my previous employer was made redundant in April, I took the opportunity during this period of transition to pretty much, build out the business. And so Student Catalyst Gateway has been growing over the last couple of months, and we are prepared to provide those e-module solutions, that is utilizing AI and the human touch to provide that level of support. So our intention is to provide, at least with a not-for-profit arm, to provide 7 e-modules in 2025, starting from the Career Compass and Leadership Insights, which also spans your resume development, cover letter development, your LinkedIn branding and support, period vision and thriving, mental health and well-being. And then we'll also have, a lot of leadership videos from real persons that are part of our ecosystem, myself and my advisors, to provide that added level of support as well through the e-modules. And then the intention is to also add that human element through coaching, career coaching from myself and some other career coaches, as well as interview support. And we also, for international students, we're also going to have the immigration support as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Avelia. I honestly think oftentimes a lot of people go into the workforce not necessarily knowing what best they can do with their skills and talent. And I think having that guidance is a better way to approach your career as opposed to just moving by blindly. Diversity isn't just necessarily about race or cultural backgrounds. Diversity can come in terms of age, it can come in terms of gender, it can come in terms of how you identify yourself as a human being. And I think oftentimes if you've been in a workplace where everybody is from the same cultural background or has the same lived experiences, the ideas can almost be in line and all the same. However, I think having multiple opinions when it comes to planning for your career or planning for a workplace, I think is very important to your point there. And I think just to build up on that, what employers are really looking for in 2025 is someone who's willing to turn the turtle. So if you think about it, when a turtle is on its back, if somebody is willing to, if you see the turtle on its back, have the initiative to actually go and turn that turtle around so that everything can keep on moving. However, if you're somebody who sees something that's out of line in the workplace and you look at it as somebody else's responsibility to do that, that's not necessarily what employers are looking for. They're looking for somebody who takes initiative and always leads forward with helping whoever's needed. But on top of that, also knowing that this mission is a mission as a team, rather than this is my responsibility and this is that other person's responsibility. I think once you do that, what tends to happen is that a rising tide lifts all boats. So once you grow in your career, once you're able to achieve a success at a high level, all of a sudden you're lifting your juniors, you're lifting the admin assistants, you're lifting even the people that you report to because they just see you operating at such a high level. And so I think oftentimes, a lot of times immigrants come in with that immigrant work ethic. And sometimes when you come into those workplaces, it actually raises the bar for everybody else. I think you're totally right on that. Equity deserving voices do matter in the workforce. And I think more and more employers are being open to actually having those diverse backgrounds into the workplace. Sorry, my apologies there. So Avelia, earlier when you spoke about the SCG e-modules, I don't want to necessarily rush over what you can get through the e-modules. Can you maybe dive deeper into how people that are getting ready for their career can really utilize these e-modules to take their career to the next level, but more importantly, to actually help them find the right fit for what the next steps would look like for them?
The intent is the e-modules, which is micro-learnings, they would be embedded within the site. So when you access the site, there's a component on the side where you could click on the e-modules and get access to them on demand. So you could take them at your leisure. What we'll also have is some direction as well. So if you take the first e-module, which is on Career Compass and Leadership Insights, it will point you into different directions or different e-modules that are part of our 2025 offering that you could also take beyond that. So you don't have to go in a linear format. whichever one you think you want to go into after you can. And at the end of each of these e-modules or micro-learnings, as we want to call them as well, there'll also be a certificate provided. So you have that hard, tangible certificate that you would earn at the end of each of these. The intent is for in 2016 and 26, and beyond, for us to also have an app that would complement the website. And so students will be able to download the app and go on to, the app and also complete or get access to the content as well. Beyond that, on the actual website, outside of the e-modules, we also have different areas where you'll see the opportunity for you to look at read about the career coaching. Click on a link in there. It takes you to a pop-up form and you complete it if you want to access career coaching, or if you want to access interview coaching. So that is a field. And if you want to access immigration support. So all of that is built into the website as well. Again, it's on demand. The app will be there. And also, we also have the hopes of building out a chat box as well, where, students could type and ask questions for clarity. So we talked in the beginning also, Tina, about Student Catalyst Gateway being a not-for-profit social enterprise. Yeah. Because in my heart, I wanted to provide something for equity-deserving students, not just international students, but all of those students who fall within the equity-deserving bucket, right? We also have recently launched another arm of the business that's called Launch Catalyst. It was actually incorporated, and I got the information today, and that finalized that. It's called Launch Catalyst. So Launch Catalyst will be So the organization will actually take on a hybrid approach where Student Catalyst Gateway is primarily supporting equity-deserving students with the purchasing of these e-modules and access to career coaching at a below market value price because they're equity-deserving. For Launch Catalyst, it's more for B2B relationships, so business to business. So the intention is to build relationships with academic institutions, immigration centers, and other organizations that we could provide similar but more branded content that we create for them, and they could brand, those businesses could brand as their own or co-brand it with us. And so we could provide that content through us to their group or their ecosystem. And then beyond that, we also have the intention to utilize different service providers via another B2B approach where they would advertise through Launch Catalyst, and the students will be able to purchase their services or get to rent an apartment or rent a car or something like that as well. So the approach is three-pronged: the B2C, which is Student Catalyst Gateway via the online website that students could take on demand, the Launch Catalyst, which is the B2B approach, and then also the service providers will be part of that Launch Catalyst B2B approach as well.
I'll pass it over to Darrell to just do a few closing remarks, and then I'll also pass it over to Avelia to just close this off. But yeah, Darrell, feel free to share some closing remarks with the team here today.
I'd say, again, echoing what you've heard from Avelia, Kondwelani, and myself, is this introduction that SCG is making is one support tool. It's an amazing support tool. And the point we made earlier is all of us as individual professionals, we need support, not only at the start, but throughout our careers. So think seriously about using it. Avelia has put a lot of thought into the design of this. And I will guarantee, I wish something like this existed when I was graduating. But back then, there weren't as many coaches around as they are today. It is something that can accelerate your journey. I learned by making mistakes. And if I could go back in time and have the resources that SCG, Student Catalyst Gateway, is giving away, I think I would have made fewer mistakes than the journey that I went along. So I would say pay attention to it, take advantage. I know Avelia is going to share some great opportunities for those students that want to take advantage, and test drive it and see if this is for you.
And then, Avelia, do you have any other closing words just to end us off here?
Sure. So I wanted to take the opportunity to thank everyone that is on today. for joining us, for taking an hour out of your busy schedules to join us today to listen, for us to hear and to support Student Catalyst Gateway. I think we're onto something really extraordinary, and we value your support going forward. To the advisors, Darrell and Alan, all the other advisors who joined, as well. I think I saw Tana join, and I know he's in Europe. Thank you, Tana, for joining. All the advisors, we have 5 of them who joined today. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your pro bono support right now. Thank you, Kondwelani. And Lindsay, I see Lindsay's on as well. And I also want to thank Kondwelani for taking time out of his schedule, his busy work schedule, to support us today. Again, pro bono. And to my wonderful admin here, Rizal, she's done an extraordinary job keeping us all together and in line and doing all the great work. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I also want to say that we have an opportunity for students to become ambassadors of Student Catalyst Gateway. Rizal will be sharing the form after today's meeting as well, where potential student ambassadors could sign up. And if you become a student ambassador, you get a 10% discount out of everything that we offer from now until the end of 2025. So take an opportunity to do that. But beyond the discount, it will be a way for you to be part of this movement. That I definitely assure you would continue to grow, evolve, and become even better. And, with that being said, I just want to say again, look out for us, share the news, share about Student Catalyst Gateways on your Gateway on your LinkedIn and all your different socials, so we can become a household name for all students.
Okay. Thank you once again, Avelia. Thank you to everybody that came for our session today. It really means a lot to the organization. And please keep an eye through social media of some of the things that are upcoming. And if you have any questions, Avelia is available, Darrell is available, as well as myself as well. So feel free to reach out, and our team's here to support.
And before we leave, one last thing, we're going to do our hard launch of the business of the platform is going to be on August 30th, right here in Winnipeg at the Alt Hotel. Information is going to be forthcoming about that as well. But if you can join us on the 30th of August from 4 to 8 p.m., you won't be disappointed. And we look forward for you to being there and, again, taking the opportunity to support us as well.